Okay, hey everybody. Decided this morning to do some cold starts this morning. Make a little video here. We've got 4 vehicles on the property, 3 cars and a truck that we're going to be cold starting. We've got our 1988 Volkswagen Jetta Diesel 4-cylinder. We've got our 1994 Ford F150 pickup with a 5-liter V8. We've got our 97 Ford Probe GT 2.5-liter 6-cylinder. And then on the other side of the property, we've got a 93 Ford Escort LX 1.9. And then we've got our final automotive cold start for the morning, which is actually a few blocks from here at my mother's place. 2000 Chevy Malibu 3.1 V6. And I got to start it for her because she's on vacation. We've got our GT Probe on the charger. Tried to drive the car yesterday, but apparently when my neighbor came over and moved the car so that the tree trim people wouldn't smash it to hell with a tree limb, must have left the door slightly ajar, left the dome light on, and battery's stone cold dead. So we're going to start up with the older vehicle, 88 Jetta. We'll move on to the 93 Escort on the other side of the house, then the 94 F-150, and then we will go to the 97 Probe, and then we'll jump in the Jetta and head over to start the 2000 Malibu. Now, the Jetta is a daily driver at present while I'm working on getting the Probe up. I had traded my 96 Neon about a month and a half ago for the Probe. Probe needs some repair, so we're working on that. And then we're going to give this car back to the owner. So, before we can start Jetta here, we've got to check the fluids because it does have some issues. It leaks brake fluid and has a very slight coolant leak. Okay, so, as I was saying a moment ago, slight coolant leak. This is not the original radiator to the car. We got it at a salvage. It still has a tiny leak, and it's been treated with that powdered stop leak stuff. I don't know if we can catch that in the camera or not. It's just water. It's not too low. The leak is extraordinarily slow, so really not that big of a deal. Just check it periodically. The big issue is the brake fluid, and it's a little low. I'll have to add some to it, and I'll show you why this leaks. Not that it has anything to do with starting the motor, but I am going to be driving the car to do our final cold start of the morning, and then do need to add fluid to it to make sure that it's safe to drive. Okay, I think it's good. I'll show you why the Jetta leaks brake fluid here. I'm trying to do all this one-handed. So, okay. So we've got plenty of brake fluid here now. So just pardon me while I put the hood down. Okay, so I'll show you right quick why this thing leaks brake fluid here. Okay, let's see if this camera's gonna catch this thing. Well, I don't know if the camera's catching any of this, but right here is the brake proportioning valve, and you can see it, I think this camera can pick it up. It's dripping brake fluid, and It started doing this probably, 2 weeks after my friend put this car on the road, so until we could get the parts to fix it, we just check the fluid every single day, keep fluid with it, add when we need it. Not that big of a deal. So, let's get in the Jetta here. And see if we can get it fired up. Now, okay, with these diesels, generally, you would use this cold start lever, which is right here. If I catch that, right there. You would normally pull this out with the engine being cold to start it, and then when the engine warms up you would put it back. The problem with this lever is the sleeve or the tube or whatever you want to call it. Inside there, behind the dash, the tube cable assembly is damaged. So once you pull this thing out, the only way to get it to go back in once the engine is good and warm is to stick your hand up under the dash, grab the tube body that the cable goes through, and then force this back into the dash, and then you still got to go pop the hood and use a screwdriver or a wrench or something to tap the arm back into the closed position. So we don't start this car with the cold start lever. Now, that being said, this car can be a bitch to start, but I found a little trick. I don't know why this works. All I know is about 95% of the time it does. So, transmission's in neutral, emergency brake applied, clutch in. Okay, keys on. There's our yellow light for the glow plugs. It just went out, so now we'll turn the key back off, turn the key back on, lights back out again. Sorry about the horn. Key back off. We're going to cycle it a third and final time. And now we're going to crank it. And there you go. Now, if I had not done that little key trick, if I had just waited until the light had went out and then cranked it over, the engine would have cranked and cranked and cranked and cranked and cranked and eventually started. This highway traffic noise is killing me. It would have eventually started, but then it would have died within 5 or 10 seconds, and then you'd really have to fight it to get it going again. So by triple cycling the glow plugs, for whatever reason, it seems to work. And as usual, it smokes. I guess that's just normal for diesel engines. Not sure. It is running a little rough, idling a little rough, but that smooths out once the engine comes up to temperature. And also once the engine comes up to temperature, this smoking seems to dissipate until you really romp on it. If you're really pushing the hell out of it, then it'll start smoking again. But I have no idea of knowing how many miles is on this engine, because this cluster is not the original cluster. When my friend got the car, it was in kilometers. It was a Canadian car or something, and we don't do kph out here in America, so we found, I think it was a Rabbit or something, that it's the same cluster. Bought it out of a salvage. It was in mileage instead of kilometers, and bought it and put it in. Don't worry about the charge light. That's just because we've got weak brushes in the alternator, and just haven't went to AutoZone yet to pick up a set and installed it. But anyway, there's our first cold start of the morning. This is my daily driver, so it's not that much of a cold start. It was drove in here last night. So, cold start number 1 down. Time to move on. Let's move over to cold start number 2. That's a windy morning this morning. Very windy. Now this truck, 94 F150, 302, hasn't been run in a few months, so this is a good cold start. We've got, let's see how many mileage. Oh, let's see, that says, I don't know if it's going to show up. That says 237,652.9, and this is the original engine. So, let's see what we got here. And it fires right up. Over 200,000 miles. And no smoke. However, even the air conditioning still works on this truck. I'm supposed to be paying $1,500 for this. So it runs good. A little over a quarter tank of gas, charging good, good oil pressure. But this truck is kind of funny when it comes to oil pressure. Going down the road when it's good and warm, you can read anywhere from there all the way to the A or L on the normal, and sometimes it goes all the way down. It doesn't go beyond that in border notch there, but it takes basically the whole operating range whenever it feels like it. I'm not sure what that is. I don't know if it's, you know, worn engine, you know, tolerances are starting to expand and whatever, but sounds good. So somebody just left me a voice message. Okay, cold start number 2 done. Let's go check out cold start number 3. Okay, cold start number 3. I was going to do these videos in order from oldest to newest, but decided not to. Okay, so this is 93 Ford Escort LX, 1.9 liter 4-cylinder. Call this Project Green Hornet because it's green. Okay, let's see if we still got a good battery in here. Sweet. Starts right up. Paid $250 for this car. It smokes, burns some oil, but I've done a compression test on this engine, and it's got really high compression across all cylinders. It's not low anywhere. And so given the fact that it only generally smokes when you first start it, sometimes it smokes when you shift, thinking it's got totally shot valve stem seals. So when I get back into the groove of fixing some of this shit up, I think we're gonna probably throw some valve stem seals in here. Fixing this car for a teenage girl. You may have noticed 5-speed standard. Same thing with the Volkswagen Jetta that we first started, and then the F150 that we started for number 2. This is number 3, and then we're gonna go to our, even revs good. And it's got, well, it says it's got 105,000, I think that's what it is, mileage, but that's not even correct because this isn't the original motor to the car. Boy, it really does smoke. Here, I'll see if I can. We'll watch the wind shifted now, right? Well, in any event, I still think it's stem cells. See if it starts back up. Yep, never fails to start. Sweet. Gotta repair those bushings. These damn things. There's so much slop in that shifter. Okay. So now we're gonna make our way over to our final cold start on this property. And I can dig the key out of my pocket. Ford probe. Okay, so here's our last automotive cold start of the morning on this property. 97 Ford Probe GT. Let's see if we got enough juice in the battery to do anything now. Like I said, the battery was pretty dead when I tried to start this thing yesterday evening. Seems to have decent battery power now. Ah, sweet. Good oil pressure, good charge. I got about a little under a quarter of a tank of gas. And it's got for mileage 187,000. So it's got some miles on it. But hey, it's a 97 and no smoke. 187,000 miles and no smoke. So what do you say we actually, well, I was going to take this for a drive, but I think I'll take the Jetta, because there's something else I want to illustrate on the Jetta. Shut this down. See if it'll crank back up. Sweet. Alright. We're just going to let this thing charge, because I plan on taking this out of town today, and I want a decent charge on the battery. So now we're going to head to do our final cold start of the morning. Lock up the house first. And we'll take this opportunity. It's actually going to be a two-part video. It's going to be a cold start video and an illustrative video about a problem that this Jetta has. So, we're going to head over to my mother's. Oh, there's that damn alternator belt. Okay, so I'm going to pause the camera and we'll do our final cold start in a couple minutes. Okay, so we're almost to our last cold start of the day. I'm going to show you the problem we got here. I'm about a block away from where my mother lives, maybe two. Going down the road. I don't have a working speedometer. The speedometer started to go out. It was jumping, like dancing all over the gauge. And then it just dropped and hasn't done anything since. So I don't know if it's the cable, the gear that's on the cable, or what. Okay, there's our final cold start. Our final automotive cold start. Okay. So my mother's on vacation. Seeing my brother. I think I have the right key here. If I drove all the way down here without the right key, that's gonna make me mad. I'm pretty sure I got the right key. 2000 Malibu 3.1 V6. I think this is the right key. Can't be 100% sure because no, that's not the right damn key. Shit. Okay, let's check my other set of keys here. Ah, here we go. Sweet. Got 2 or 3 keys that are identical. Awesome. Oh, it's hotter than shit in this car. Shit, always leave that damn radio up. Sweet. Starts right up. No problems. Oh, she didn't leave any gas in it either. She really didn't want me driving this thing. And the check engine light's on. But that's caused by the upper intake manifold. I know it's got a leak, causing a misfire. This car's been sitting a week. No smoke. And our mileage, I don't know who that is pulling out behind me. The mileage is too much of a glare. Oh, that's the tripometer. 181,232 miles on this engine, original engine. So there's our final automotive cold start for the day. Oh. So there you go. I'll get some more cold starts on some other things when I have the time. Thanks for watching.